So this is by far the most uncomfortable video I'm probably going to have to do. And I think it's an important message to tell people because, firstly, you're not alone. There's a lot of other people in similar situations, and also, if it's not the same situation, it's that same feeling. And even from talking to quite a few people, it's amazing how prevalent it is. Now, I'm gonna tell you a story, and it's gonna be a bit like a Disney story, that it's not gonna be very great at the start, and then there's gonna be a nice finish. Now, as I start the story, you're gonna think, hang on a minute, why is the start so good? So I'd like you to bear with me. So it's a Sunday, and I say, I'm upstairs, pack my bags, going to the toilet. The S-Class Mercedes pulls up outside. The chauffeur gets out. He opens the boot, comes and knocks on the door. Said, "Mr. Cooper, your car's ready." So I give him my bag. He goes, put my bag in the boot. Opens the back door. I get in the back door. He offers me a free bottle of water, offers me some sweets, offers me some magazines. Cool. Right, so we're off to Heathrow. So we're pootling down the motorway. A little bit of idle chit chat. Pretty cool. Right. So we get to Heathrow. We then go up to the security barrier. They show my details. Security barrier comes up. You go up this hidden runway that lots of people don't know about to this beautiful roundabout. There's this roundabout, and a incredibly well dressed lady, all in red, opens up, says, "Hello, Mr. Cooper. How are you today?" Takes me through. My bag comes with me, and they check me in. There's 2 counters. So they check me in. They asked me how my day was. They checked that I know where I'm going, and they said, "Oh, the security lane's there." So went down. One person in the security lane in front of me. It is a private security lane. Through the security lane, right. Headphones on. Make straight for the lounge. So I go into the lounge. So we're with Virgin Atlantic today. I find my seat. I connect to the free Wi-Fi. I take my selection of newspapers. I watch some of the Formula One because there's a massive TV with Formula One. Someone comes over and, "What would you like for breakfast?" So look at the menu, and it is eggs Benedict, cooked how I'd like it cooked. It's fresh coffee, and would you like a glass of champagne? Well, why not? I'm travelling. So glass of champagne goes in. Through all that, grab a bag of crisps, grab a few bits, snacks, while away a couple of hours, had another drink, and flight gets called. So off we go to the gate, use the speedy gate, obviously, get on the plane, and the joy of turning left when everyone else is turning right, and go to my individual seat in Virgin upper class. So that means I've got a convertible lay flat bed. I have like a cocoon, no one's around me. I've got the duvet, the pillow, the mattress cover. I've got the pajamas. And then they come up and they're like, welcome back. Would you like another drink? I was like, yep, I'll have another champagne, please. So there's me sat there, headphones on, drink in hand, 4 drinks in. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. And then the mind starts going, and I start to think, when's the seatbelt sign coming on? And the reason I'm panicking is because I've got an anxiety about going to the bathroom, where I'm worried that I'm going to have an accident. And one of the most uncomfortable feelings is the fact that fasten seatbelt sign comes on, and then you can't go to the toilet. So I'll go to the toilet probably 3 times before we take off. I'll then start trying to work out how I'm going to have an accident without people noticing, and all this stuff. But today's different. Still feels real bad. But today I just I'm in the toilet, and I'm like, can't go on like this. So I actually text my wife and said, I can't go on like this. Because I just knew I couldn't. I needed to change. I was going to the US about 10 times a year. I was flying all around the world. I think I was doing probably about 20 20 trips a year or something, on planes, and I'd got to the point where I couldn't even do a 2-mile taxi ride without sort of panicking. I basically lived every day taking Imodium. I had toilet paper in my pocket. I had Imodium in my pocket at all times. I'd panic if I didn't have enough. My wedding day, I had like Imodium, toilet paper. I think about 2 minutes before Katie came into the church, I was in the church toilet. I didn't need to go, but felt like I did. And I just suddenly realised all this stuff that I'd not done in my life. The amount of times I'd been to the US and I hadn't like done anything of interest, because it was just like, how can I get from the hotel to the airport and back again, and the office and back again, and I just reached that point that I can't go on. I did send her a clarifying email, text message before we took off to explain what it was, because I thought otherwise she's going to spend 12 hours wondering whether I'm going to try and open the plane door. But thankfully it was never like that, and I shouldn't even joke about that. So, so went to the US, did my usual trip to Target, bought Imodium because it's cheap out there. Kind of dodged everything, didn't go out for lunches, didn't go out for dinners, was total antisocial pain in the arse to everyone. Like, jet lag is a bitch as well, so it's a great excuse, but then also it plays havoc on your body, and then you're popping Imodium like it's sweets. It's not fun. So now I come back and I go and get help, and I talk to a therapist, and it's we start to set challenges, and we start to make some really good progress, and that was awesome. And I kind of got to the end of it, and I was in a much better spot, but I kind of realized that there's so many more challenges that you need to overcome, and if I didn't do something longer term and again work out how to help myself, all I'm going to do is replace one challenge with another challenge, because usually you just replace one crutch with another crutch. So I started to learn cognitive behavioral therapy for myself. I started to learn neuro-linguistic programming. I started to work on gratitude. I started to work on basically how could I arm myself, how could I become resilient, how could I stop myself being triggered, how could I stop myself going into this deep dark mess that I kind of knew that I would end up back in. And out of the back of it, I kind of built these mindset models and these approaches, these daily habits, these rituals that were actually designed to serve me better, that were actually there to keep me on track, to remove a lot of the fears, the frustrations, the anxieties that I had. And it was amazing. In the change in myself, I instigated this say yes to everything rule, which was cool, but we ended up on a ropey holiday at one stage where we had to go a very long distance, which in getting over things it was great, but kind of hindsight, so probably should have said no to that one. I started putting in like monthly socials, and I started putting in all these events that I'd kind of avoided, and it was amazing, just the kind of change that I felt in myself and people saw in myself, and the kind of confidence went up, and then again it goes back to the other areas of your life that benefited from it, because I didn't have that anxiety. So then the enjoyment of doing sports increased again, because like a game of rugby didn't consist of like loads of pills, worrying about toilets, having to go to the toilet at half time, having to go just before the start, and all this sort of stuff. All that was kind of gone, and it fundamentally shifted. And again, then I started, I wasn't so angry with the kids because I didn't have this anxiety building up. And it doesn't, it could be any anxiety. It doesn't have to be bathrooms, but that kind of weight's been lifted from your shoulders. And then the same with other areas. I started to excel more at work again, because I was kind of free to do things, do events. I would agree to things that I didn't do before. I was more confident, and it kind of made me realize all the opportunities that I missed out on, and how I didn't want to miss out on any of them anymore. And that's why I really doubled down on my process and kind of really looked at it, and that kind of fed into this this kind of well-being ascent, and how to protect yourself, whether it's your mindset, which is kind of a base element to everything I talk about, and then the well-being about looking after yourself, the having the tools, the capabilities to kind of deal with anything that comes up. So again, it was just this fixing one area started to lift at every other area, and it was transformational for me, and that's what I want it to be transformational for you. So click the links, let's get this thing rolling, and I can promise you that the world will change for you. It sounds crazy, sounds new age and hippie and all that sort of stuff, like I thought at the start, but it will transform you and you'll love it. So, speak to you soon.